welcome to Dream Big, creating a better life for yourself and the planet. And I'm bringing tonight a super special guest, Pinky Daga, the director and developer of India Thrive movement. And she will be talking, and she has had experiences in bringing kids, spirituality, artistic movement all together. And now she's created the platform of India Thrive, where all these educators work together, therapists, teachers in India, are creating a global platform in India to entice people to start on a spiritual journey in a more modern mindset, because India is full of the traditional gurus and all that, of which of course she knows plenty of. And I'm super excited to have Pinky here, whom I have known for the last 14 years. We've gone to India, we've worked together. I am invited and was very blessed to be a global ambassador on the Thrive India movement. And I want to have her speak about her personal journey, her experiences, and how India is doing. And I also want to have some techniques she can give us about child and family education, on spiritualizing family, and how all that can happen in a modern world. Modern India is very different and changing, as we may all know. All right, Pinky, thank you. It's all over to you. Thank you, and please fill in any blanks that I might have left out. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Oh my God, there's just so much. I don't know what you left out. But thank you so much for interviewing me. Thank you for the honor of being your guest. It's great to be here, and it's great to speak to you as always. It's been such an amazing journey the last 14 years with you and Dawn. And the kind of moments and experiences that we have shared has been incredible and a real part of my life journey.
Oh, how sweet. Thank you.
Yeah. So tell me, where should I begin? I mean, it's so much.
Right. Yeah. Well, you have dedicated your life to be of service, and maybe we can start with you being a modern day Indian woman who picked her journey and is not as traditional, but you are still connected to gurus and different people. How have gurus played a role in your life? What have you learned, and how are you integrating the traditional and modern approach to spirituality?
Right. Well, my journey started almost 20 years ago, more than two decades, actually 25 years ago. And I've had, the greatest luck meeting some of the most evolved gurus, whether it be of the Eastern world or the Western world, but definitely here in India, gurus are so much a part of our ancient tradition. My journey began with, Art of Living, Shri Ravi Shankar. I think what's beautiful and how I've integrated all the old techniques with the new modern day is that as my journey unfolded, I picked up the best of so many gurus. I was with Shri Ravi Shankar, then I was with Master Chokwaksi in the pranic healing movement. Then I learned from them. Then I met Patriji, who is part of our Thrive movement even today, and the founder of Pyramid Valley International. And then I met amazing modern day gurus like you and Dawn, and I met Alex Orbital, who's the psychic surgeon from Malaysia, Dr. Newton, who's India's one of leading regression therapists. I met Judy Satori, and there's so many. I've been so blessed, ILONA. There's just been so many amazing people. And the beautiful part is that it's never a choice. It's not, oh, okay, I will listen to A, or I will listen to B, or I will listen to C. The beauty of today's world and today's time and the acceleration that we have on our planet allows us to integrate everything, and that's just the most beautiful feeling, because as in more and more souls are coming into this planet, more evolved than ever before. We see that with children all the time. They are their own guru. They are their own guru. So they want to learn from so many different streams of knowledge and integrate that into something better, something bigger, something where they're just creating magic every time. And that's been, I think, my blessing. I'm part of the olden traditional world. I'm old enough to have those kind of traditional values, but still I'm young enough to embrace this new and see this whole new world thing. So, and yeah, that's been my greatest learning.
And so when you've been, let's say, I don't want to say guru hopping because that might sound really bad. I know you've been in one of the movements for the last 20 years. I mean, since I've known you, 15 years. I want to know, what are the universal truths and how do you integrate it into your modern life? I know you live in Mumbai. You have a super blessed life, and you've dedicated yourself not to a life of, well, I mean, you're enjoying your lifestyle, but you're dedicating all your hours to helping other people become awakened.
Right. So the universal truths, one universal truth is always slip into your awareness. And you can do that, I feel, in any moment in time, in the busiest of days, in the moments where you might be experiencing a lot of overwhelming emotions, be it sadness, be it grief, be it anger. And these are things that we face every day. And I've learned that when you slip into that moment, allow things to unfold, become aware, and suddenly you come into alignment. And when you come into that phase of alignment, that's just that simple. Okay, breathe in. Where am I? What am I doing? Can I step out of this emotion?
Yes.
Can I welcome this emotion? Can I just be aligned? And the minute you align, things just sort that out.
Yes.
In the best way possible for highest good. So that is one of the universal truths.
Yes.
That I really in my life on a daily basis. The second is that your vibe, your level of energy, level of what you are feeling, what you are thinking, really does attract what's happening in your life. So always first look at what you are feeling and thinking without not on any kind of external circumstances. I mean, there are 10,000 circumstances and always a reason. But if you first put the telescope on yourself,
yes,
or the microscope on yourself, you really get the answer. You don't need to look anywhere other than you for those answers.
Yes, yes.
So these are few universal.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
embrace joy. Embrace
right.
joy. That's one of the biggest ones. In everything, just embrace joy. Don't wait for that right moment to have that joy just in your life, with the people you love, with anyone, even with a stranger. Just embrace that moment of joy and just feel it. And when you do, life just becomes joyous.
Yes. I mean, you are a living example. I mean, you're I'm just thinking, I spent a few years ago, I spent your 40th birthday in Bali together with you, and you inspire everybody with your vibrancy, with your dedication to giving and inspiring people and giving. You are fundamentally a giving person. So tell us a little bit about how you've applied. When you did, you worked a lot in children theater, creative endeavors with children. Tell me some of the things that we can apply to the life of a mother with children, and how to bring them, the kids that are in this modern world, into that sensitivity, into opening to that breath of who am I really?
Yes. Well, there's many techniques that I've used. Some of them on a professional level when I've worked with children, and some of them just as a mom of two on my own,
yes,
dealing with the challenges that we face. So one of the most important things as a parent or an educator that I have learned and I have applied is that honor the individuality of each child. Because there might be that one kid, whether you're a parent or whether you're an educator, who you think is the naughtiest, the one who just doesn't listen, the one who's just completely hyper, where, these days it gets termed as ADD, ADHD.
Yeah.
I just feel that for me, those terms, with all due respect to modern day psychology and modern day terms, for me, it's an excess of energy. And that soul might be so evolved that there's so many places and so many ways to channel that energy. So if we just understand that rather than blame it, most of these souls, most of these children who are extremely hyperactive or who are going all over the place, they actually are very evolved, but they just have not had the time or the maturity in today's life to step into that evolution. So if you, and they're very sensitive, extremely sensitive. So if you are not accepting them and who they are on any level, they react. Because they're just like an energy sponge. They know exactly what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and they mirror it. They just mirror that. So much of what you cannot accept in the child is actually a reflection of your own thoughts and beliefs. So the minute you honor that child and say, I allow you to be whoever you are, I accept whoever you are, I see the beauty and divinity in you, no matter what you're doing in this moment in time, even if you're driving me crazy, which a lot of kids do. And my kids have done that to me too. We're taught in today's world to keep talking to the child. And one of the techniques I've found very useful is, of course, you communicate to the child in ways that they understand, but you also sometimes take a moment for yourself and communicate to the higher self, the higher soul of that child, just in your meditation.
Okay, walk us through that, and then tell me, what are the results you've seen in life and story, maybe? Yes.
So like I said, like I was mentioning, that I have a teenager, and very often he's not open to those kind of communications or me telling him these things. I can't go up to my 13-year-old, 14-year-old and say, okay, I think you have a lot of excess and energy and you're a very evolved soul. So I would like you to meditate and do. He's like, oh, what are you talking about, Mom? What's going on? Stop. Right? So I don't like the way you're speaking to me and this is not good. It hurts. He doesn't want to listen. His reaction is like, what do you mean? I was fine. I didn't say anything to you. It's all in your head. So what I do is, instead of reacting in those particular moments where I can just go, what's this going on? What I do is I step back. The first thing to do is not react. Step back. You go into your own moment of peace, your own place of peace. Take as long as it takes and do whatever. If it's meditation, if it's reading a book, it might be, just taking a walk with your pet or whatever it is that just brings you into your own center. Once you feel centered enough, calm down. First, try and connect to your own higher self. Ask your higher self to connect to the higher self of your child. And in that moment, tell them, communicate as you would when you're sitting across the table. Okay, it hurts me when you speak in this way. More than it hurts me, I'm concerned that this kind of talking and this kind of an attitude would lead to certain issues in your life, or maybe people reacting to you in bad ways. And as a mother or as an educator, it pains me to see that you would slip into this kind of behavior. Is there any other way you can find of communicating what you need or whatever restlessness is within you? Can you do that? Can you calm down? Can we spend a nice evening together? And suddenly you do this at the higher self level. You communicate that and you just see, within like few hours, you'll see your child or that particular child's come up and just suddenly be open, about things you want to do or things you want to say. And then just the most concise, most essential, just in a minute, say what you need to and be done with it. Children don't like it when you're going on and on and on. So whatever you need to say, do it at that level and just remind them gently on this level. And suddenly it just comes back to them and they'll, play with you or spend that moment with you or anything. Sometimes also as parents, we carry a lot of guilt. And maybe we've reacted badly or we've made the child go through something. And on hindsight, we feel, oh my God, why did I do that? Why did I say that? That just wasn't this. And sometimes you feel, okay, if I say, go and say, so of course you should always be willing to apologize, but maybe they don't understand where it stems from.
Mm-hmm.
And then children just carry these wounds
Yeah.
for such a long time in their life, because they don't understand that you've had a bad day at work, or you're unhappy with a particular relationship in your life, or it's just not the right time.
Right.
They don't understand. So if you suddenly go off on them, or,
Yeah.
and we all do. We all do as parents, because it takes an incredible amount of patience. And no, it's very hard for people to be patient 24/7. So when you've done that, use the same technique, and ask for forgiveness of the higher soul. I'm sorry, I have done this. This is why. I did not mean to hurt you. Please accept that I love you. Just give that love, that kind of love. Just project it at the higher self level. And there is no way a child, and children today who are so energy sensitive, will not pick it up. Yeah. Children pick up true love in an instant, So you just project that. Don't let that guilt eat away at you, and keep on rolling with it. So these are a few of the things.
I get chills just listening to you, Pinky. It is, of course, totally down my alley. Obviously, it's exactly what I believe in, what I do. But and I'm always hoping that one of the speakers will actually come up with those solutions and speak, those things. And it's like I'm going, yes, 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 yes. It works. And it's obviously you have a lot of practice. You also share the trials and tribulations real honestly. You are a living example of practicing in the modern world with kids. And awesome. Okay. So first thing is, in your mind, go to a place of peace.
Right.
Step back. Let's walk through the step. Okay.
Step back. That's number one. Step back. Step out of that situation, which can create so much angst and just those crazy, angry vibes. Just step out of that. Second, go to your place of peace. Third, when you find that you are centered enough, just meditate for 10 minutes. In your meditation, number 4, connect to your higher self first. And number 5, ask your higher self to connect to the higher self of that child. And number 6, communicate whatever you wish in those moments of higher self. If you need to communicate any kind of instruction, any kind of, you need forgiveness, any kind of understanding that you feel the child might need, you need to study, not because I want you to be something, but you need to do it for your own higher good. You don't understand right now, but us as adults, we know what you need, Maybe you have such amazing musical talent. Do you think that you can, embrace that more in your life?
Yeah.
Even simple things like this, because, kids just, there's so much technology around that's the biggest distraction. Yeah. They don't want to do that, because even though they're talented, can I play on the iPad? Can I watch TV?
Entertainment.
Yeah. You're just always dealing with technology. And there's one more, so these are the steps to this particular technique, connecting with the higher self.
Yeah.
And one more technique, if I may share, which is really helpful for children themselves, is the program of gratitude.
Yeah.
Every night, without fail, for the last 12 years, we have practiced a very simple 5-minute, what are you thankful for today? So the technique of gratitude, that's one of the best techniques that you can adopt with your children. It becomes a kind of a fun way to share the things you might be feeling, or the way your children can be feeling. And it's very simple. All you do is at night or in the morning, whenever you have that 10 minutes in the day with your children, or maybe when they come home from school, whatever time works, you sit them down, and first you begin. The most important thing is set an example. You begin. And you can use a particular God, or you don't have to. It can just be, I am grateful for, in my life, first I'm grateful, that I always start with, first I'm grateful for having the both of you in my life, my 2 children. I'm so thankful for my children. I'm so thankful that they're healthy, they're safe, they're guided, they're protected.
Yeah.
And then I'm so thankful that my child is so talented, musically talented. I'm so thankful that my child is, very intelligent, reads so well.
Yeah.
So I use it also as a way to give thanks for who they are,
Ah,
and know that I'm honoring the greatness that they are,
yes.
even if it's something really simple.
Yes.
I'm so thankful that you decided to eat one meal with me and go out to dinner. I'm so thankful for the fun that we have, and it's important to mix it up with the big things that we have in life,
Yeah.
which are great blessings. Like, oh, thank you, God, for this beautiful home that I have.
Yeah.
Thank you, God, for the food that we eat, but also to mix it up with the little things in the day,
Yeah.
because sometimes those just go past us. They just,
Yeah.
sometimes we don't realize it. We just take it as part of our day. We don't realize. So
Yeah.
every day to come up with something new, and something funny. Oh, I'm so thankful that I have email in my life, just something that
Yeah.
would even make them laugh. And this inspires them to
Yeah.
start thinking,
Yeah.
okay, what am I grateful for? What is this? What is this? Oh, let me give thanks. Oh, thank you, that we have this. Oh, thanks for, maybe the amazing staff that we have and the people that take care of us, and so many different things.
Yeah.
Because many children today suffer from a sense of enlightenment, or suffer from a sense of entitlement. In their enlightenment, yes. But they suffer from a sense of entitlement.
Yes.
Because as parents, we've done so much, we've overdone it for them. It's not just necessarily materialistic entitlement, but it's also emotional entitlement.
Yeah.
It's because as a generation today, we want to take care of everything. We want to protect them, as opposed to the generation of our parents who just was like, yeah, okay, take care of it on your own.
Yeah.
School, that's your own thing.
Yeah.
We're the generation of this helicopter parenting,
Yes.
We're involved in every little aspect. And what that's done is that's created this sense of entitlement. It's not really the kid's fault. Entitlement. Yeah. It's not really its fault. It's mainly our style of parenting, and and we don't live in a world as safe as it was before.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So this makes us more protective.
Right.
And this kind of thing, in a way, sometimes disempowers the child.
Yeah.
They feel that everything that I do and I have to do is for the parent.
Yeah.
It's for myself. It's
Yeah.
for the parent. Yeah. And I've found that just doing this simple gratitude exercise on a daily basis, without fail, no matter where you are, brings them into a sense of the wonder of life. Yeah. Oh wow, we have this, and oh wow, now this isn't that easy. This is a blessing,
Yeah.
So they learn to see things as blessing, and it kind of balances out. This neutralizes this helicopter parenting generation thing. Yeah.
I'm so glad you're bringing that up, because that is truly what I see happening. And it isn't like when I grew up, we went into the woods, we went across the town. Right. Forget that. I wouldn't do it myself, and I wouldn't really want to probably see my kids doing it. So I love all the techniques, everything you've shared. Can you, oh my God, I love that you are the living example. You've gone to the seminars, you've practiced all these things, you've really integrated them. You really are, I know you, I've seen you in seminars. You take what you take into your life and practice it. That's the most amazing thing. And then to hear you taking that into your daily life 10, 20 years later, or 15 years later it is so inspiring and so touching, that I hope a lot of people will take these simple techniques. They require a lot of discipline. They require that you live.
Simple tools, right?
Yeah. They require, to me, honestly, they are high spiritual gymnastics. If you can take yourself in an angry situation and stop, look at the situation, become aware of soul, calm down, and come back from a higher dimensional perspective. So let's talk about your experience of multidimensional living. The fact that you can take yourself out and recreate a higher outcome. What do you attribute that to? What do you say in your cosmology, in your way, the way you see life? Why does that happen? How can that happen? How is that possible?
I think it's, for me, it's always been very simple. I don't find that very complicated. I think maybe um, you know, it's just knowing. It's kind of knowing how what you feel like after the fact is so much better than what you're feeling like right now, when you
Right.
just give in to all of those disproportionate energies. It's
Uh-huh.
just very simple.
Yeah.
you know I want to feel good. It's like sometimes, you're just lazy to work out. It's very simple. You're
Uh-huh.
just so lazy, you don't want to work out, but you know what, I'm just going to feel so good after I do
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
So you just go ahead and you do it,
Yeah.
and 5 minutes into the exercise or into the workout, you're like, I'm so glad I did it because it's
Ah,
feeling so good.
yes.
I'm
Yes.
feeling so much better.
Yeah.
And it's the same way. This is maybe, we can call it our spiritual workout.
Yeah.
It's not that easy every time, but every time when you feel like you don't want to, or you have that resistance, if you just remind yourself how much better you'd feel if you did do that.
Yeah.
This is such a better feeling,
Awesome. Yeah.
than just being irritated and angry and all over the place, and your energies are all dispersed. And then when you start seeing, the more you come into your own alignment, or when you stay in your own alignment, how much more in alignment your life comes into.
Yes.
you know
Yes.
when you start seeing that, that's its own greatest reward and greatest motivator. Like, how could you not? Like, how can you not?
Right.
you know
And when you say coming into your own alignment, you mean coming into your peace, coming into your sense of, this is me. I'm
Centeredness.
not the movie. I'm the one watching the movie.
Yes, your own centeredness, your own, feeling of being in touch with who you are, your essence.
Yeah.
And sometimes that just might mean acknowledging an emotion that in our terms might be negative.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just have to honor that emotion also. Sometimes there is a moment of a lot of sadness or feeling lost. But if you start with that, because sometimes people use a lot of spirituality also to escape
Yeah.
what they're feeling or what
Yeah.
they're going through.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not an escape.
Yeah.
It's also a place where you can dive into that emotion and go behind the layers and find the root.
Yeah.
And it allows you, when you find that root of that emotion, what is it? Okay, I'm really irritated. I'm angry. Why am I angry? Okay, I'm angry because actually I'm sad. I feel lonely. That's why I'm angry.
Yes.
Okay, why am I feeling lonely today?
Yeah.
Or in life? Okay, because I'm not able to be in touch with myself
Yeah.
and enjoy my own company, or open myself up to the gifts of, like, oh, okay, maybe I can do dance classes.
Uh-huh.
And suddenly, it could be
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Or maybe I should read this book that I've been waiting to read, and it'll inspire me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So go from that anger and feel it in your body. Every emotion has a place where you can feel it. Feel it. Let it speak to you. Let the emotion speak to you. You don't have to push down the negativity and say, okay, no, 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 no. I'm not allowed to feel this. I'm not allowed to be angry. I just need to meditate, meditate, meditate. No.
No.
And I think this is how you totally integrate. Coming back to how we began when we started speaking, this is the best way to integrate into modern life.
Yes.
Because a lot of people who are in this crazy, chaotic, hectic wheel of life think that, oh, I need to stop. I'm not allowed to, chase after my career. I'm not allowed to maybe chase after money. Maybe I'm not allowed to, have all of this, feel this kind of passion. I have to be a really cool, collected, calm person in order to be spiritual.
Yeah.
No, that's not what it is. To integrate into modern life, you have to accept and embrace who you are, whatever it could be.
Yeah.
Whatever. It could be something that you think or you are judging yourself as being negative. But it's when you integrate it into who you are today is when you become your own modern day master, integrate these tools.
Yes, yes. And when you
Yeah.
take the negative emotion as a doorway to the deeper aspects of yourself,
Right, deeper
and
aspect.
you use it as a stepping stone to evolve
Right.
to the next place of greatness within yourself. I love how you put it. I love everything you say. Let me add to everybody's information up here. We have a free link to get a free download from the Thrive community about what you can do. I'm hoping it'll be around childhood, family raising, and spiritual ideas of how to integrate steps into your daily life.
Yes.
Yes.
And there's lots of cool stuff on our library. Also, a lot of your own talks, Ilona, that you've been so generous to share with us. So much is on there already that,
So up here, you get the free gift where you sign up for the newsletter, and you'll be getting that gift. Down below, you have access to the Thrive
online library on lots of talks and meditations, and just explore what you like.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about just so we know, and then we're running over time.
Sorry.
Well, actually, I want to talk. Okay, so let's take that into the second movement, the Thrive movement, how that is tying people all over the world together and educating them, how people can participate and contribute, how they can learn, how they can access the free libraries and tools for transformation that you're making available on the Thrive network. Which you've created, and then why you've created it, I want to do, but which you've created to further consciousness evolution on the planet.
So, just to give you a brief bite of the Thrive movement and the Thrive network is that in our entire life, in the past 20 years, we've come across some of the best minds in the world of wellness, in the world of spirituality, and we just thought, hey, why don't we put everyone together and make this wealth, this treasure of information and knowledge and tools available to everyone out there, and especially in India.
Yeah.
So, we just started building this platform and putting different people together so that exactly what I was speaking before, we make this available to people which they can integrate into their everyday, daily life. We have speakers and teachers and educators from all over the world on so many different kinds of topics. And there's always something that resonates with someone out there.
Yeah, so, I know. One of the articles or answers you had me give was on the cycle, menstruation, PMS, and all these things.
And menstruation,
and the cycling.
And you gave us this beautiful information.
Yeah, and so I mean, it's very modern. It's definitely spreading a lot of information of all areas of life, and especially in India, powerful. I mean, all the stuff you have is for the Western mind equally powerfully. I mean, all globally. So
globally,
yes. So let us make. Yes, go ahead. One more.
And what we're also doing is putting all these. We have in India. We've got so many beautiful souls who've adopted so many wellness techniques. They're practitioners of every kind, every modality of healing, of just so many things that people have to give.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is we have Ayurveda here, our ancient Ayurveda, unbelievable Ayurvedic doctors, and homeopathy is a big thing. The Bach flower is big. So many forms of healing in India. So we've given them also this platform to connect on, to register, so that anyone in India can find the right practitioner.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes. And what we're doing is we are speaking and meeting each and every single one, because we want to give people a verified library, a verified source, a directory. So we don't want to just have anyone. We need to know the person. We need to know that they're standing for their own truth. There's a lot of integrity.
I know you have Dr. Convedetti Newton on there, Dr. Newton, and his teachings. He's doing a lot with children's work.
So many of his students with, family constellation, inner child healing, past life regression. There's just so much. There's so much. And we believe that, there's always one thing or few things that will resonate with some people and a few things that will resonate with others. And when
Yes.
we put all of this amazing world of information to people
Yeah.
and tell them that, hey, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, there's something for you here.
Yeah.
Come,
Come,
just
grow, look,
explore.
explore.
Right, explore, transform your life a little bit at a time. The
Yes.
way you love, the way you feel, is
Yeah.
right for you in this moment.
I love that slogan. Transform your life a little step at a time. I love
Yeah.
that. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, Pinky, I'm going to, it's 36 minutes. We're going to go into
Yeah.
part two, going about
Okay.
Thrive and some of the things you've discovered in your own spiritual journey in with the masters, and deeper into what the Thrive movement offers, and understanding about spirituality and parenting and yourself. Thank you very much for having given us this many amazing tips in this first part that went longer than thought, but awesome. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much, Ilona. Thank you. Love you.
I love you.